I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is November 18, Monday, 2024. Hope you had a good day, good weekend here. So, watch Friday's video, so it makes sense. I'll just play this so we can hear it. My goal, let's just say we closed right here. My goal is to get to 50 Friday. Okay, so that being said, I did say a lot. I do say a lot, but I'm also talking out loud while I'm doing it. But the goal was to get to the 50% of the previous day's range. So if I highlight literally the Friday candle from the high to the low, 50%, as you can see, is where it's shown here. And that's why when I got in on Friday, with that hope to push up like that. And then I was hoping that we didn't gap down. And because of that understanding, I was hoping, well, one of us was going to raid the previous week, and it was Dow. So it wasn't us or S&P. So that was just luck. So that when I say luck, that's luck. Like I don't know that, right? But my understanding is that, right? So, yeah, and then what's it called? So that being the case, I'm just gonna go right to it for the guy that just recently unfollowed me again. Someone else just unfollowed me again. So here, as you can see, I was in here. I was mentioning 422 and a quarter. That was this bottom gap here and the imbalance. If I go to it real quick, there's a lot to talk about in this video, but it is a fire video. So and this is to show someone didn't understand what I meant. We had that imbalance right there, right here with the this 159, and then the candle here, this 1357, this 1 minute down candle. If you look at the high, what's the high there? The high is 20,422 and a quarter. So do you think I did that manually? I did that with obviously a limit order, right? And on the 15-minute, you can see it's like 50% of that wick in itself, but we're using also the gap. So beautiful. And then when I was here, before I get into the day, when I was here, I decided, I'm like, oh, let me draw it out before we even reach there. It's a speaker, pretty much. You can see here this origin here where we come up, we come down, we come up, we come down. Now we got the 3 drives down, right? And then what are we doing here? Well, at 9:30, we have a 15-minute imbalance right there. And yes, we obviously go below it more. But why do I have to allow this to? So when I'm in this trade, first of all, it went all the way up here, right? It was already at like 30, I don't know, 6,000 or whatever the number was. And I understood that I had the 2 to 2.5 here, and I have you see my little limit, not limit, my alert here with this dotted line. So, and that red line in the middle is the 50% of the daily range of Fridays. So that's what's there. So I was hoping to, get an alarm, and I never got it. So I went to sleep, and this thing came all the way back, dude, which sucked. But then I was like, well, I have to make a decision. It's like either I'm going to get out and then buy in here, or I'm just going to hold it because I'm already in it. And that's what I decided to do. So sometimes when I take more like a swing type of trade, I'll get lazy on the sense, but in a sense you have to. I mean, there's no other way. But this could have been a second entry or a third if you look at it that way. So that could have been the first one that I got into, the second one, which is right here. Look how we come down pre-New York, pre-8:30, and we do hit the bottom of that gap. So the purple here was the daily gap that we talked about. The daily gap. Remember those 2 daily gaps? And then this little purple here, this is the present day. So I'm gonna probably move this gap, but I still needed it. So that's still on the chart. But the purple one in the background, that is the current week gap, and it's small. So why am I saying this? Well, because when I'm waking up and I'm ready pretty much at 8:30ish, I see that we're already, look at the level. Look at I stop on a dime right there, right? And if you see it on the wick, it's pretty nice. And then we push up, right? So I'm looking at like, this is higher low, and this is a high with a higher low. And now we're making our new higher high. So that's this leg up, right? So this speaker to complete that speaker, we would need a higher high. And obviously I'm still, my objective is still the same, is to reach this 50% of the daily Friday. Too much confluence there, with, besides the liquidity that were people just selling with their eyes closed. 2 to 2.5 here, plus that 50%. I have my alert there, and I still left it. And I did this on purpose, obviously. So, and then as you can see here, we then push up. So right when we get here, we hit the 50 level, which is that red level in the background. And then I decided to, obviously I'm putting my stop here to just show. I should have recorded it, but I was just like, kind of too excited, to be honest. And this is actually, I think this is my biggest trade. Either if it's not, it's my second one or third, but it's definitely top three. But that's what I meant, like, trust your analysis. Like, even if you're like, because another guy, he unfollowed me, and I'm like, he's like, oh, you don't show, I'm not showing all this selling here. I don't want to show my trades at all. But now it's like, dude, it's like, it's like I'm forced to. It's like, otherwise you're going to unfollow me or some shit. Like, kick rocks. But, anyways, the logic here, this is not hindsight. I mean, I took the trade here and said what I wanted to happen, right? And that's exactly what happened. So just so you know, Friday, this is a model for Monday all in itself. If you have if you look at the Friday range, generally speaking, if you backtest the last like 2 months at minimum, you'll probably see that the Monday will retrace back into 50% of its Friday's range. So again, that's a model all in itself, and I'm mentioning it now for you. So if you didn't know that already, possibly, I don't know, but the point is that yeah, man. So this, guess what? We get this little mountain here, and then we get an inversion, shoots down. That's 929, 930, shoots down, right? So I have the 15-minute imbalance, right? I understand that, and we're coming below it. Now we're at 50% of the opening range gap. It might look like it's a lot going on, but it's really not. These are just gaps in the background. But we have the opening range gap here. So before we reach a leg lower, this is at 50%. It pushes up, gets stuck right there at that inversion and that bearish. We're not pulling above it. So if it's breaking down, and then you can see I got this bearish imbalance highlighted right here. You can see that we'll go above it, and that's nice right here. These three candles, you can see that. But it fails, comes below it, then it comes underneath it, right there. That's a big sign right here that it's failing. And then sure enough, we come down for another leg down. Now we're coming down for a leg, and to what I was going to say earlier is the reason why I'm still holding for this is because I have to allow it to come back to the new week gap, right? Which is this purple. I have to allow that. I mean, because that's pretty obvious. Plus 830. 830's candle is right here. So we will also use that as support. If you look at some people's charts, they'll have the 830 level outlined all the way. They have 930. Well, I already know where 930 is because it's the top of this box, so I don't have to do that. But I know that 830 is right here, and I understand that when we're coming a leg lower, yes, we're accomplishing to seal the rest of the opening range gap. I mean, not fully, but in general speaking, we're coming lower. But we also have to allow for the 830 level, that would be this candle here. Right, as you can see, look how we're hitting it. So that's not coincidence either. It's all coupled. And then I also have the opening gap, the weak gap, that little purple. So I had to allow that, and it sucked, dude. Trust me, I was up here at 30-something thousand, and then it never reached the 50 level, and it came all the way down here. And was I sick a little bit? Yeah. I mean, was I in profit still here? Yeah, I was, but it sucked. And the general gist, I understand what I'm looking for. So that's what I mean by trust your analysis. So, but if it was going any lower than this, it would have been game over. I would have cut that bitch off 100,000%. But I have to allow this. So whatever it is, what it is. So then guess what? We push up. Now we have this bearish imbalance here. As an inversion, you see we go above it. Beautiful. Now I'm ready to roll. We also have 50% of the opening range gap plus the gap in the background. This gray, right? So we also have that too. So I understand what's happening here. Plus, then if you look at the 15-minute here, you can see, yes, we went underneath it, but look at the bodies still sitting inside that bearish imbalance on the bullish imbalance on the 15-minute. So the bodies is all sitting here. All underneath that is wick. So everything underneath here, This is just wick. And then body is above this, right? So we end up getting back above that 15 minute. And then I was like, all right, we're good. So we push up here and then we use that bearish imbalance. We drag it out. Perfect. Uses it as an inversion. Look at those two close and open candles right there. Look at that. Can't make this up. Retraces back into this, obviously imbalance right there. Pushes up here. We have, and you'll see, I take the picture here, but you can see I have this imbalance highlighted right here. But then I have this one underneath it. You're like, well, why are you highlighting underneath it? I said, well, because for me, this is a level that we can come back to. Once we push up, this is a level to come back to. Why? Because right here is when it pushes out. So there's a real imbalance here of breakout traders. And that's why I've got that highlighted, which it'll make sense when we continue the video. But anyways, I also have the midnight level. See the midnight level right here? So we have these 3 lower highs. It's really, this looks really suspect in general speaking. So what's the setup? I mean, you get the retrace back here back into this gap, and then you have the liquidity, the 3 lower highs right here. Well, not 3. We'll just call it the 3 highs here. And as you can see, look at the midnight level. Look how it's like there's no wick on that candle right there. We tap it and we go away, and this is pretty obvious. You can see if you put a trend line here, fake trend line here, you can see that we break that, we go underneath it, we retrace back. So this is definitely people are selling in here from retail's perspective, and then we're dancing around that midnight level for pretty much the rest of the day in a sense. But and then my goal was to just get to here. I get to here, I hit done, and I'm just trail the stop loss so you could see that I fucking done. It's like funny I have to do that. But and then as you see, what's funny is that if I was to have held it up to this trend line of the speaker, we actually hit it. So let's go into more here. 1 second. So we hit that 50 level right there, which is where I took the picture. And then we equal lows here. We push up, push up, push up. Finally, we find, and we're now at this point, we are inside. See this price action here, which is from 11:30. That's London close. So I expected a retracement. I actually caught this sell down to here, to the midnight level. And where I made a mistake is I should have held it for 3 drives. So this would have been 1, that would have been 2, that would have been 3. But I was really trading my P&L. And also, if you look here on the 15 minute, when we bust through this midnight level and these highs, why am I taking this sell here is because I want to come back to right here. As you can see, this is a clear breakout trade level. So this is like at minimum, but I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take it and be done and blah, blah, blah. And I should have just held it for 3 drives, and then that would have led me to at least here. And then when you're looking at this retrace back, you're like, well, where is it going to stop? Well, these are the 3 areas that I can tell you. Number 1 is right here. That's for sure, where I just showed you. Number 2 would be 50% of this 15-minute imbalance, this 10-15. So I have that level there. And then underneath that would be, guess where? You don't say. Would be here. Because we just broke through that breakout trade level. And if you look for more details, which this is super fire I'm giving right here, you might know this already, but you might not. You listen, I miss things all the time, so you're going to miss things too. But look at these 4 down candles right here. Look at this high. Look at the high of this candle at 6 a.m. right here. Look, what's the high up there? Up here. What's the high? The high is 590, right? Yeah. The high is 20,590. What's the low of this candle right here? The low of this candle is 589.5. That means it went below 2 ticks. That's exactly what you want to see. That's exactly what you want to see. And in the sense of it buying from here, and in the sense of balancing price. And now notice how it doesn't come to this candle. That's a dangling carrot, right? So someone might be waiting for that and they might not get it, but they came to this. Also, if you look on the 4 hour, you're like, how do you remember all this? It was because I analyzed fucking. So here you see the high of this 4 hour candle. What's the high? It's the same one. It's the 490. I'm sorry, not 490, 590. The high of this candle is 20,590, and we came right to it. We came to it to 2 ticks below. So when you're asking me, will the retrace, I just looked at it very simply to keep it simple. This is this is the structure. So I would like to now come in to see that that's from 9:30 on Friday when we busted through. That was an easy sell right there when we busted through. So this area makes sense. So somewhere up here, right? Definitely at a minimum, if we keep going up, the area that I got it. I mean, obviously it makes sense to come back to this low right here too, because we busted through that low and we have the gaps here. So we'll see. But in this structure, we had higher lows up to finale, and then we had lower lows down, and then going up, we had higher low there, and then kind of just straight shot off. And then coming retracing back, as you see on this 1 minute, you can see that we have, this is, let me erase this real quick. If you see this leg here, just from this higher high to higher low, if it turns out to be, this was the leg. So not here. This is where I was saying I messed up. So this was the leg here, not this leg. This is this leg, and then that is that leg. And we're stuck. This is a 5-minute bearish imbalance. We could never break above that today. Well, after we came down. And then this low, lower high, lower low. So now where we are, I mean, I want to see this, obviously. But that was what was going on here. So and what they're doing is they're making it difficult to go back up. So they're retracing back slowly to wipe out liquidity to the left and the breakout traders, and then eventually we're gonna assume that they built liquidity here to then pop up. But they do it dirty by doing this. Another drive, another drive, another drive. So this is really the 3 drives here. This is a part of this. Even though that it might not make sense to you. But if you look like on the 15-minute, for example, that's a blue candle in it. But for example, like this is like this push down, this yellow, it's all like still one, right? It's still like, it's slithered, yeah, but it's still like considered together. And then that's your lower low, lower high, lower low. You can see on the 15-minute, obviously a little bit more cleaner. And then we just tapped that midnight level again. As you can see, we're bouncing around it. So their goal was to keep that here. And then I feel like I'm missing something. So, super fire though. 17 minutes. So, what was I gonna say? This does look a little shallow, but we'll see if this holds, which is this area here. But as you can see to the tick, and then also if you look on the 1 minute, you can see that we had this imbalance here, this 1014. So this is the one I had in the picture that I was mentioning, this one right here. So that's why I have it there, because I'm like, that's a beautiful level to come back. Take a look. I can't make this up, brother. So, you see that right there? So, and then what do we have? We have 2 down candles right there. So they're using that as like a support. But at the same speaking, so these lower highs, it looked a little this looked too easy, right? To attack, or also to get in. This higher low looked a little, this wasn't too easy, but in a sense it was easy. So as you see here, also another deciding factor of if you could have took a buy here was you had, look at this. That's not coincidence. So you got higher lows here, nice divergence, beautiful. Obviously what would be the best entry is, I mean, if you were able to even catch this down here, you can see this 956 going into that wick right there. We do go above that candle, but we peak right above. We come back into that little wick. So if you don't see that, we have the 25% level. If you don't see that, we have this bearish imbalance on the 946. See that? And the 50% right there of the opening range gap. That's beautiful right there. So, and then, obviously any one of these other areas are entries. But, and then as you can see, we came up here and then we're at 50% of this wick. You can see that, right? See this wick right here? See this 945 from Friday? See this wick? So look at the body sitting there underneath it. And if I was to make a 50 level on this, you'll see that it's probably tagging it perfectly. So and that was also the other understanding of why I took a sell here. But and just to come back into here. But anyways, so do we come back up? Let's go back and let's go into this. There's a lot of another piece of fire that had me confident in holding the trade was that obviously I said Dow took lower lows. We had higher lows with S&P and Nas, and then we had another divergence. We had this divergence right here, which is a higher low here, and then we had lower lows here. So push, keep going up, and then we have what's going on here? This was a higher low with. I'm talking about like around the 930 now. We had higher lows with fucking higher lows with S&P and Dow. At the time that was it was like this. I mean, that's not the divergence, but I'm just showing you. All right. And then we had lower lows here with Nas and so we just had lower lows with Nas. I'm sorry, lower lows with Nas right here, and we had higher lows here with S&P and Dow. Then when the price was up here, that's why I have this drawn here. We had lower lows here with Dow, and we had higher lows with S&P and Nas, and that's telling you that we're framing the momentum of going up here, and that little push back down here. We had lower highs here. Didn't I do that? Yeah. We had higher highs here and higher highs here, and we had lower highs here. So you want to see Dow go in the opposite direction in general speaking. And then obviously this failed here. That one failed. That was a higher low with Dow, and then lower lows here. So, but the thing is this: it's like if you're asking, it's like, well, if you look at the or size, like, did it buy from here? Yeah, it bought from here. How many points did it go? At least 40 some points. Did it buy from here? Yeah, it bought from here. Pretty nice. How many points is this? 660 points. Did it buy from here? Yeah, it did. Right. So, question of when you're taking profit or not, right? Do you need to take out the previous highs? No, you don't. This one, I was married to that. But like, can you get out early? Can you get out early on any of these? But yeah, of course you can. You know what I mean? So it's like you do what you do, man. And then we have what's it called? Dollar starting to retrace back, so that should push us up. And then let me look at Nvidia. So what I was mentioning, look. So remember this price action I was talking about for the past week or two? See this? Look at that. Does that look carbon copy? That's it. Look carbon copy. You probably thought I was crazy when I was saying it, but sure enough, it looks exactly the same. So is this the higher low? Is this now where we're gonna push up from here for the fourth quarter? Now, we should be seeing some buying between today and the 21st or 2nd. So these next 4 days, it's going to be interesting. But we should see if it's going to be really bullish. We're going to see a push. And if it's not already happening, I don't know. But are we going to turn around and is this the high here and we leave that and then we just roll the fuck over, right? I don't know, man. And then, so if it's still bullish, this is still possible where we do come for another rate or something, right? And then we push up, right? I'll just do it like that. And then by then, this is like now the 20th or whatever the case is, right? I wouldn't like to see this. I would like to just stay above this low. But we'll see. So this is a possibility right here. Or obviously, let's just say we go up, right? Like that as being bullish. And then as far as bearish goes, either we, let me say it again. If we're bearish, then I would like, you would see something like this coming down. All right. Or we do one more drive where it's like, this is drive 1, drive 2, and then drive 3, seal some of those last people, and then take the fuck off down, right? So, again, we are still bullish though. So we are still bullish. So there, we can't argue that. We went from oversold here in the 1 hour. Remember, take a look at that. That's another reason why I was buying here. And then I'd like to see it get up here. So we'll see. And then if you look at the 4 hour, we also, when we came down, we were in oversold here, and that was also some more reason why I was in. Plus, you have that imbalance right there on the 4 hour. You can see the 4 hours pretty nice in between here, right? And there is still some imbalance below it. So that's why if we raid one more time, then it would probably be to get into this area here. But let me go to Dow. I know I've been talking a lot, dude. So what did they do? Well, they took out their previous week's low. Now they're getting onto an oversold. I feel like they got some room though. This is like a straight highway here. I mean, I don't know. Coming down one more time does make sense. Small range day for Dow. I think, yeah, right. Pretty much. But maybe coming more into here, right? For one more leg, then to push up. Just talking. So at this point, I don't really have faith in where it's going. I had faith up till today, but now it's like it's anybody's ball game. It's kind of like back to neutral. What is this? This is Dow. And then S&P, very similar story. Do they use this candle as resistance? And now that's where the example I said to take off down. In the general sense, we are using these 2 down candles as support here. So generally speaking, we're at 50% of this imbalance on the daily. So does that hold that support here? It just feels like it's a little too easy to then just, I don't know. We'll see. I know I'm missing something, man. Again, I would prefer. So that's why I was buying, because I had 2 reasons to buy. If we were bullish or bearish, I have 2 reasons to buy, which is what? To come back up into here to seal some of that, and that's the only logic that was there. So, but we'll see, man. I feel like I'm missing something, dude. Kind of getting tired of doing things now. Yeah, I think I've said enough, right? I feel like I'm missing something, man. If I take a look at well, I should just be done. But if you take a look at this, did I mention this on Friday? So, some more logic of coming in here was to get some of this gap that we had from November the 5th through November the 6th, right? When the opening range that was empty. And that's why I generally will keep, I'll generally keep at least the previous day on my chart still, because, we'll reference that. But in this case, what I'm saying is that we had an opening range gap here. So as you can see, this black hole right there, look at that. So there's like literally no price action in here until we reached it on Friday. Now it's not sealed, but now we have this same scenario going on here between Thursday and Friday of last week. So this is why I was trying to push up here, right? Also, so now you can see me showing that. I guess I don't know if I don't think I showed that. Did I show that? I can't remember. So that's why I was saying it's like you got both sides of the market pretty clean, so up or down. But my goal, I got what I wanted, and I have a birthday. It's my birthday this week, so it's my birthday week, and I really don't celebrate my birthdays, but for everyone else wants to celebrate my birthday. So my wife's taking me on a boat and doing all that stuff. But I don't know. I'm gonna be hit or miss. I'm probably still gonna obviously still work though, but we'll see how things go. But I'm in a good mood, and I'm not really worried about the market, man. But let's see. We are in, what week is this? I have to get off. I know I'm talking too much. You're probably like, dude, stop. Yeah, this is the third week. Yeah, man. So this is probably definitely should be good. Again, I would prefer to see us just keep pushing up. So that's what I'm thinking. But uh fuck, another 30-minute video. I don't know how to make them shorter, man. So as you see, we're stuck here at that midnight level. We can't break above it, but hope this helping, and you guys take care and God bless.